The Matrix is a system, Neo. That system is full of degenerates. When you're inside, you look around, what do you see? Businessmen, teachers, lawyers, carpenters, the very minds of the people we are trying to save. But until we do, these people are still a part of the woke system, and that makes them our enemy. You have to understand, most of these people are not ready to pick up a biology textbook. And many of them are so inert, so hopelessly dependent on their pronouns that they will fight to protect it. Were you listening to me, Neo? Or were you looking at the dude in the red dress?
A dude?
Look again. Who is it?
That wasn't a woman?
No. It's another training program designed to teach you one thing. If you are not one of us, you might marry one of them.
What are they?
Transformers. They can move in and out of any gender, regardless of their chromosomes. That means that anyone coming out of the female bathroom is potentially a ladyboy. Inside the Matrix, they can identify as anything, but in reality, it's just delusion.
We have survived by hiding from them, by running from them. But they are at the Diddy parties. They are guarding all the doors while they are touching all the kids, which means that sooner or later, someone is going to have to fight them.
Someone.
I won't lie to you here. Every single man or woman who has stood their ground, everyone who has fought this agenda got canceled. But where they have failed, you will succeed.
Why?
I've seen an agent identify as a concrete wall. Men have emptied entire clips at them and hit nothing but air. Yet their strength and their speed are still based in a world that is built on rules. Because of that, they will never be as strong or as fast as you can be.
What are you trying to tell me? That I can dodge lawsuits?
No, Neo. If you identify as an innocent human being, you won't have to.
I identify as an innocent human being.
What are your jobs?
I sold my soul, and I work for contractors.
You work for a defense contractor? Wow, that is not who I thought you were going to be. Can I get some pronouns going? She, her, okay, got it. Are you a trans woman? May I ask that? Is that right?
Absolutely.
You're a trans woman. Now, are you the only trans woman working at the defense contractor? No? There's just a defense contractor full of trans women? Just dropping bombs on brown people? How about those pronouns? Okay, so you make motors for what exactly? Rocket motors. Oh, rocket, for rockets. So like when that school in Iran. Dude, that's a pickle for a liberal, don't you think? You're like, technically the motors were made by trans women, so. Who are you on the side of, liberals? But are you a liberal?
Yeah.
Okay. You're very leftist. But then help me understand the logic.
It's a financial.
But that's a lot. Isn't that a lot of money? I feel like there's a middle ground somewhere in there. Are you like pro-capitalism? No, you hate capitalism. You just build rocket motors for our military? Have you had other jobs?
Yeah.
What were those?
Urban stuff.
You got radicalized at a Starbucks, dude? It was local. Oh, sorry. How dare I accuse you of working at a terrible corporate entity like Starbucks? I don't understand you one little bit. You go to therapy. You talk about building the rocket motors in therapy?
No, I talk about my trauma.
Okay. Tell me what your trauma is. Your dad is your trauma?
Yes.
Yeah, you know what some people's trauma is? Getting hit by a highly propellant rocket.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into the show. It's Scott here from Woke Society. This is episode number 1096. It is April 29th, 2026. Let's welcome in all of our friends over on Rumble, over on Kick, over on X, over on YouTube, and of course, my favorite platform, built by Patriots for Patriots. Let's see all the ahs down the chats over on pilled.net. Welcome in, guys. Welcome into the show. Great to see everybody. We have a ton to go over today. Lots of good news, guys, to be completely honest with you. Lots of wins happening. An unexpected win coming from the Supreme Court that kind of came out of nowhere. Very much needed because the Supreme Court has been very cucked out as of late. But we're going to be talking, guys, about the King's visit as the King. Donald Trump has duped the King. Everything going on with Iran as per usual. And, of course, we're going to be breaking down what's going on with James Comey. And all kinds of stuff. And oh, by the way, P. Hegseth burned the Democrats down today, which was absolutely fantastic. All this and so much more, guys. And Erica Kirk actually really burned down the House as she came out, scourged Candace Owens, and gave her basically her hot takes about why she was at the White House Correspondents' Dinner and so much more. So, if you guys can, please smash the red pill. Keep the gold pills flowing, the stickers flying, and please give my mods all the love you can possibly give them. We got a banger today on a Wing Wednesday. But before we dive into everything, let's say hello to the fam. We got Down Home out there, Enemy My Enemy, OH Patriot, Lulu's out there. Thank you so much. We got Willie Fix It. You need some milk? What up, milk? Orianda out there. We got Dougie out there. Victoria. Had the July crushing on Pilled as always. Oh, snap. Southern Patriot. Welcome in, friends. Welcome in. We got Ohio Kimmy. Spear of Yah. Welcome in. Willow Lady. My Two Terriers. Slowpoke. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. It's got some crackling. Wonderful. Who else we got? Let's see. We got Halo Moon. Smart Poker. TP. Great to have you out there. Condition-based crushing as always. Lieutenant Kaz. Roy Stones and Bones. Welcome in, friend. Welcome in. Victoria, welcome in. Let's see. Who else? Let's see. Mr. McBaster, I might have gotten you, but oh well. G. Watts. Pabby, 45. What's going on, my friend? Yeah, that tranny just kept going, huh? Just kept going. A from PA, welcome in. It wasn't me. Welcome in, Jeff Bork. Becky Heinel out there, welcome in. All the regulars on Pilled. Pilled's the best, man. Pilled is the best. Me and Matt had a great conversation today. Got to catch up a little bit. It was fun. Let's see here. Patriot Drummer in the house. What's up, my friend? Let's go over to the YouTube chat. Don't want to forget you guys. We got Sean. Sean PR Patriot. Welcome in, guys. Little Cat holding it down. Archie Angel, as always. Nurse Ratchet. Or Bratchet. Big Willie. Welcome in. Hopefully, guys, the internet holds up today. We shall see. And Rumble, is there anyone on Rumble? Repo's over there. How dare you? Disgusting. Disgusting. At least get on YouTube. Rumble's just, ugh. Joshua Tree, welcome in, guys. Thank you so much. All right, guys, we ready to go. We're ready to rock and roll. We have a big show here. Lots of happenings, lots of wins. Nancy Pelosi's very upset. The Dems are very upset about the Supreme Court ruling today. All kinds of fraud is getting cracked down out in Minneapolis, which is great. Tim Walz gave his final address today. And who was his name? The faggot at the Fed, Jerome Powell. Yeah, giant piece of shit. He kept the rates the same. What a surprise. What a surprise. So either way, guys, we're already at 2,300, pretty much 2,400 gold pills and counting, guys. 20K is that daily goal. Let's keep that rock and roll. We're 18K away already, which is a fantastic start. Let's keep that rock and rolling. Red pill smashed. Stickers flying, mods getting all kinds of love. Thank you all for being here. We have a big show, so let's not waste another minute. It is News Blitz time on a Wing Wednesday. Let's do it. Wouldn't it be nice, guys, if you were able to drive a luxury vehicle on food stamps? Well, there's about 14,000 of them as of now. SNAP recipients driving luxury vehicles in just one state alone. And yes, guys, among those brands are Teslas, Alfa Romeo, Porsche, Ferrari, and Lamborghinis. Oh, man. These people have been living life for a long time. Speaking of Fox News, rolling to that just in one red state, a red state. The recent dump of data we found SNAP recipients had more than 2,000 Tesla owners, 200 Alfa Romeo owners, more than 144 that were receiving food stamps were driving Porsches. And again, this is the data dumps we're getting because before we had no accountability on any of these programs. We're now requiring accountability. And guys, I think the Trump admin nuked 4 million people off food stamps alone. There's got to be way more than that. But yes, guys, I don't know if you knew. If you got food stamps, you can absolutely be driving a Lamborghini. Over here, guys, the New York Post, Trump will host hero astronauts of NASA's groundbreaking Artemis 2 mission at the White House. I think this actually went down today. Trump is honoring to host the legendary crew in the Oval Office tomorrow to celebrate their unmatched achievements, and that actually did go down today. And thanks to President Trump's leadership and the excellence of the Artemis 2 crew, America is leading the world in space exploration. Thanks to President Trump's leadership and the excellence of the Artemis 2 crew, America is leading the world in space exploration. Shout out to these guys. They did something cool. Even if you believe the earth is flat and space is gay, it doesn't matter. They still did something. I'm totally good with it. And if you guys didn't know from the Gateway Pundit, an Asian billionaire is now offering to host invasive cocaine hippos brought to Colombia by late cartel boss Pablo Escobar and marked for culling. Yes, guys, they have cocaine hippos. The first time I ever heard of it. It's true. We have been reporting here on TGP about an ongoing ecological disaster involving escaped hippopotamuses in the South American rivers of Colombia and the response by the authorities. While plans being put in place to cull these dangerous and invading beasts wreaking havoc in the local ecosystem, they may be about to be saved. Yes, an Indian billionaire's son has offered to provide a new home for the feral hippos introduced to Colombia by Pablo Escobar, the late drug lord, and not Ambani Alala. The youngest son of Asia's richest man has told the Colombian government to reverse its decision to cull 80 of the animals. They've been wreaking havoc on rivers because, well, they're already dangerous because they're hippos, and on top of it, they're doing a whole lot of cocaine. That is that's got to be way worse than cocaine bears. Cocaine hippos and sharks, I would say that's probably a little bit worse. Over here, guys, from the Reload, DOJ is announcing gun regulation package as Trump ATF director nominee moves to final vote. Man, there's not a lot of details about what's going to be happening with this, but everything I'm hearing is that it's going to be a ton of Pro 2.8 changes at the ATF, which is fantastic. Acting AG Blanche will preside over the signing of a landmark package of proposed and final rules representing the culmination of DOJ's and ATF's comprehensive regulatory review conducted pursuant to the direction Executive Order 14206, the Protecting Second Amendment Rights. Justin Ward, ATF's Assistant Director of Public and Governmental Affairs, said in an email to the Reload, the milestone marks a significant step forward in the admin's commitment to regulatory reform, and it's reflective of ATF's new era reform launched last year. Guys, I hope this is going to help things with suppressors, help things with these stupid tax stamps on buying anything extra for guns. It's absolutely ridiculous, and yeah, this is going to be some good news when this drops. Over here in the Gateway Pundit, Senator Chuck Schumer attends a press conference with a giant bandage on his forehead, claims he ran to a door. He's probably giving a blowjob, or maybe he was trying to figure out how to use a grill still. And over here, guys, from the Gateway Pundit, sick and twisted, Illinois woman pleads guilty in federal court for funding monkey sexual torture videos, burned alive, genitals mutilated, and other atrocities. This bitch looks like she could pass for Hillary Clinton's sister. An Illinois woman has pleaded guilty to funneling thousands of dollars into a twisted conspiracy to create and distribute what they're calling animal crush videos featuring the horrific sexual torture of baby and adult monkeys. Amanda Leigh Flores, 33, of Catlin, Illinois, entered her guilty plea April 15th in federal court to charge of conspiracy to create and distribute animal crush videos, as well as distributing them through deranged online chat groups. And guys, they were doing anything you could possibly. I'm not even going to try to read it. It's so morbid. This woman was torturing monkeys and baby monkeys in any way she possibly could. I hope to God she doesn't have children because, well, it's pretty common sense why someone would think or say that. Over here, guys, from Zero Edge, Fort Knox, full of impure gold, unfit for international transactions. We wanted to see if Elon Musk was going to doge Fort Knox. Well, there's a lot of stuff here. It's a decrepit relic, just like our monetary policies with respect to America's gold stockpile. We hold ourselves to a lower standard than the rest of the world. The French Central Bank recently sold 129 tons of similar non-standard gold that was stored in New York and replaced it with higher quality bars that will remain in France. And notwithstanding the lack of any credible physical audits for decades, U.S. gold reserves are reported to be 8,133.5 metric tons. That's roughly 261.5 billion troy ounces. About half of that is stored in Fort Knox, and no one actually knows what the state of that is. No one's done any audits on Fort Knox in decades. Does it even exist? No one really knows, guys, but apparently it's low-quality shit, and I don't know if this is good or bad for America, but people are starting to call it out. And unfortunately, guys, ABC is not going to cuck out. They're not firing Jimmy Kimmel after Melania Widow comments feels like network flipping off millions. They don't give a shit. They're a bunch of angry liberal communists. We'll get into more of that during the regular show. And last but not least, guys, InfoWars writer Jamie White's murder. Rodney Hill had his sentencing hearing moments ago, and the judge just ripped the prosecutor after reading a victim's impact statement from Jamie's sister, and the judge said they will not accept a plea deal that gives Hill less than 25 years in prison, guys. This was a big dude. And under InfoWars, he was gunned down and murdered. And the judge out of a very liberal place in Texas, well, she wants 25 years, and hopefully she'll get it. And that, fam, is today's News Blitz. And there we go. Thank you guys so much for being here. As per usual, all kinds of great gold pills flowing in, guys. The vibes are high in the chat. As always, you guys rock. Thank you so much to Jack Attack. Thank you for the cookie. Jeff Borg with the cookie. Moon, baby. What up, fam and lamb? And Halo Moon dropping a ship. Happy Wednesday. Love to Scott and the mods. Thank you, Halo Moon, for that ship. Eric Supage with the can. SBFG said this is what we, the people, voted for. Absolutely, my friend. And J2 Tank, it's been a minute, my friend. Thank you so much. Thank you, my friend, for that cookie. Trump just posted something, guys. Just 1 second. I just want to see if this is anything super important or it's going to be Trump just crushing somebody on the world spotlight as per usual. Oh, boy. Oh boy, Trump. Breaking news, the United States is, this is Trump's post. The United States is studying and reviewing the possible reduction of troops in Germany with the determination to be made over the next short period of time. Thank you for the attention to this matter. Oh boy, are we saying goodbye to these cucked out European countries? I hope so. Pull out of everywhere. We don't need to have our soldiers there. That's hilarious. Yep, they're getting fucked over. That's awesome. All right, guys, we're at 31.98 of the gold pills. Appreciate you guys. Dougie says, awesome blitz. Sofano says, how long does a cord take to season? How many are you planning? It really depends on the wood. Typically, you want 8 months to a year. Woods like cherry and ash, and I know cherry and ash, I know for sure they can season in about 4 to 5 months, which I do have about half of what I got there. So other than that, I have beech, I have ash, I have maple, red oak, and I have what else do I have? I have some cherry, and I think that's the mix that I have right now. So that's what I got going on. I have about 4 cords, and I need 2 more if I'm gonna for a full winter. I need 6 cords, basically 1 cord per month. And out here, I might even need a bit more because the winter out here was absolutely insane. So I'm about at 4. It has been raining like crazy out here, so I haven't been able to produce as much as I wanted. But I'll be doing more content, guys, for that as we get going on here. And just real quick shout out, guys. Who was it? It was Drunk Pinata. Thank you for the raid, my friend. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I do have a lot of pine, but you're right. Soften. Now that is mainly campfire wood, but if it is dry, you can burn it in your house. It's not. There's this whole thing about pine, and it's kind of a myth. But thank you, Thigh Cray, for the ship. Holy shit, it's going down. It's happening every now and then. I forget that there's too many truthers out there. It's about 10-3. You are my champion. The truth is loose. Thigh Cray, thank you, my friend. It's been a minute, my dude. It's great to see you, dude. Thank you so much. And yeah, we've culled the herd a lot, guys. We've trimmed the fat, and that's what we're going to be doing. So, all right, guys, we're already at 5,000 gold pills, a quarter of the way to our 20K goal. Let's keep that rock and rolling. Red Pill Smash. Everyone on YouTube, Rumble, like, subscribe, comment in the chat, do your thing. Jake Tapper is very upset that Trump is putting his face and name on literally everything in the country, and he's very mad about this. Enjoy this video, guys, and I'll see you on the other side of the intro. Take a watch.
The State Department is issuing a new passport in honor of America's 250th birthday. It features images of the Founding Fathers and an image of President Trump's face. Pre-presidency, you might remember Donald Trump put his name in a lot of things. Trump Hotel and Casino, Trump Magazine, Trump Steaks, and he seems to be basically doing the same thing now during his presidency, during the second term anyway. From these giant images of Trump hanging outside the Justice Department and the Labor Department and the Agriculture Department to smaller images of Trump on park passes for national parks. There's this new Treasury Department plans for a $1 commemorative gold coin with Donald Trump's face on it. Trump has this plan now to sign U.S. currency, which no president has ever done before. Then, of course, he changed the name of the Kennedy Center to the Trump Kennedy Center, changed the name of the Institute of Peace to the Trump Institute of Peace. There's a Trump gold card for expedited potential citizenship for vetted individuals, foreigners who are willing to pay $1 million. Trump accounts for young people, Trump RX. Trump has said he wants Dulles Airport renamed after him. That hasn't happened, but the Palm Beach International Airport did just rename itself for him. You know, usually these kind of renamings are done after somebody's left office as a way for other people to honor him. But this is him honoring himself. Usually it's people honoring someone else, like the Kennedy Center, but it's not that anymore because Donald Trump changed the name.
Society's fan, you know it's time to go. Grab your popcorn, sit back now, enjoy the show. Severe and non on the mic, so come on, enjoy the flow. The wave is rising and you know it's only gonna grow. Thanks for tuning in to the land of the real. But it's like the Twilight Zone, the plan is surreal. It'll blow your mind when the plan is revealed. Bring it all to light, all the plans they conceal. Grab your flashlight, it's time to go down the rabbit hole. It's dark and hell is hot, dealing with satanic souls. The tide is turning, patriots are now in control. Apply aggressive pressure right now until they fold, stay woke. Open up your eyes and keep them peeled. All they do is lie, realize not everything is real. Through Project Looking Glass, the future is revealed. Future proves past, but there won't be any deals. No time like the present for this music with the messages. The method to my madness, beat the madness to my method. Give you nothing but the truth now to capture your attention. Broke free from the matrix, master the dimensions. People swear they know the truth, but aren't asking any questions. Confirmation bias, so they pass on interventions. For those who know the truth, but they pass it just to mention. Of anything you might say, the passes their defenses. Wake up, and don't you dare go back to sleep. Always keep one eye open for demons on the creep. Once you turn into a wolf, you won't ever be a sheep. A worldwide awakening, so now run and tell your peace. Woke Society's fan, you know it's time to go. Grab your popcorn, sit back now, enjoy the show. Severe and non on the mic, so come on, enjoy the flow. The wave is rising and you know it's only gonna grow. Thanks for tuning in to the land of the real. But it's like the Twilight Zone, the plan is surreal. It'll blow your mind when the plan is revealed. Bring it all to light, all the plans they conceal.
Elon just sticks to the script. We can't afford another embarrassment like when you miscalculated your net worth by $30 million or when you banged your brother. So let's just stick to the script.
The last time the Alien Enemies Act was invoked, it was used to detain and deport German, Japanese, Italian immigrants during World War XI.
No, sweetheart, it's World War II. World War XI has not happened yet. That's like American. 6 months away.
One of the most shameful chapters of American history.
Honest mistake. It's like bananas and rice, right?
All right. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. It's Scott here from Woke Societies. It's episode number 1096. It's April 29th, 2026. Welcome to all of our friends over on Rumble, Kick, X, YouTube, and of course, my favorite fam over on Pilled.net. Oops. Fam, I just gotta say, I can't stand foreigners. And like, when I say that to like people like, wow, Scott, that's really racist. No. I have zero issue if people come to this country legally and they fully want to just drown themselves in American culture and be an American and actually learn our history. When I have foreigners here that are fucking ungrateful, that cheat our taxes, that fuck their brothers, and you say World War XI, you don't fucking know anything about anything. I hate those people. Hate those people. They're a cancer in this country, man. There's no doubt. And it's just, Ilhan Omar is right up there. Is right up there. Oh, God. Hope YouTube don't cancel me. Oh, God. It's nice being back in these platforms, guys, and still not giving a shit. It's great. It's really great. Yes, beautiful. That assimilate. Yes. Fully drown themselves in American assimilation. That was the word I was looking for. You knew it. You read my mind. Just couldn't get it out. Thank you, friend. All right, Soften Out. Thank you so much. Thigh Cray with the ship. Great to see you, brother, back. The truth is loose indeed. And 02 and on. Thank you for the shades, guys. We're at 5,198 gold pills. We're on our way to 20K. Thank you guys so much for being here. Red Pill the show. Repost it. Everything you got to do, fam. I'm ready. Let's get into it, shall we now? We had a lot to talk about yesterday, guys, with everything catching up from the weekend with the retard that thought he was going to kill Trump. And we got all caught up from all the weekend news. And we didn't really have too much time to go. We went into some major overtime yesterday. But we didn't get to talk about one event yesterday that absolutely needs to be discussed. And this was the King of England coming to visit with the Queen, Donald Trump, and Melania here on our 250th anniversary year of the founding of our country. And I got to watch some of this, and I thought it was absolutely hilarious. And not just because of the irony of it, that, you know, of all the times, like, for world leaders to come visit, we wanted to make sure that the King of England is reminded that he is the King of England and not the King of the Americas. And what I loved more about this than anything is that Trump seemed to be enjoying himself more than anyone. And having, I don't know if you, let me know if you guys saw any of the festivities. It was American Revolution soldiers out there. It was our forefathers out there. And basically, you're dragging around the King of England here in front of basically the true spirit of America that gave the UK at that time and the King of England at that time the biggest middle finger that you could ever give them, knowing full well if things did not succeed, they were absolutely going to be killed, hung, decapitated, whatever horrible death you could possibly imagine. And they said, you know what? It's still fucking worth it. We're going to go to war. We went to war, had the American Revolution, and George Washington absolutely fucking crushed, and the rest is history. And the fact that he came and visited on this year is just incredible. And you tied all this in with what we've been covering with Promethean Action and all the moves that are being made with Iran and the proxies of basically the UK and the shadow government, if you even want to call it that. There's so many things about this. I don't even know what the proper name is, but basically this shadow cancer that was basically killing America with foreign policy, gutting our industry, gutting manufacturing, and slowly killing us and keeping us in check for decades and decades. And what Trump is doing is painful. And I know people are talking about gas prices again. I think I paid $4.35 again, guys. It's the gas prices have indeed gone back up. It really sucks. I hate it. But at the same time, I understand what Trump is doing here. And we're in the middle of a heart surgery right now for this country. That is the best way that I can equate it to, guys. And all these moves being made are detaching all of the tumors that are in this country and all the pressure valves, all the choke points that have been killing us slowly. Wondering why everything you order from Amazon is literally from China. All of it, right? People are saying, like, why isn't gas going down if we are the exporters of the biggest exporters ever of fuel right now? Well, it's because decades of Democrat and basically Republican as well strangleholds on refineries that we cannot even refine our own at the capacity we need to lower our own prices, to dictate our own prices when it was dictated by other countries, other trade deals that we had. And it's so insane that most Americans have no idea how any of it works. And now guess what? At least we do on this channel. I understand it. You guys understand it. And it sucks. But it's called open heart surgery right now. We are in the middle of it. And there's many, many tentacles to all this. And Trump is literally battling it all out at the same time. So a lot of this goes through England. A lot of this goes to the UK. The relationship with Starmer and the United Kingdom has never been at its lowest point, probably ever in history at this point, which is a great thing because, again, who's really upset about this and who's really cheering this on to try to get this done? Well, UAE is, Saudi Arabia is, our great partners over in the Middle East are celebrating it. And guess who's being a bunch of pussies? It's all the European countries, and that should tell you everything about the future of this country. As long as we remain America first And MAGA, that's what's going to happen. So Trump wanted to celebrate. Trump wanted to put on a big old festival for the King of England to remind him, hey, remember what happened 250 years ago? We won this thing called the war, the American Revolution. We wrecked your fucking retarded your army, your amazing navy, because you guys wanted to line up like a bunch of retards and kill each other. And guess what we started to do? Guerrilla warfare. We started blowing you up. We started taking you out little by little, and we end up winning. Just a reminder. And this was the beginning of it when he showed up with the Queen. And of course, they're going to be nicey nice for the cameras. And they're going to be nicey nice for the optics. It's all political. We all know how these things go, but it's so fucking funny, guys. Trump was joking, as you're going to see, but something very important happened. And thank you to Tennessee Girl for sending it to me as well. There was something I didn't show you guys, and this was about the new honey. They have honeybees on the White House lawn now, which is fantastic. I love it. If you guys don't remember, before we were doing woke societies, I attempted beekeeping for one season. It failed terribly, but for the 3 months I was able to do it in that summer, it was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had, interacting with thousands of little living things that made honey and taking care of them and feeding them and killing off any predators that were trying to kill them and being able to interact with them. There was some very crazy symbology associated with the honeybee and the King of England. Let's get into it in a second here, but this was the arrival as they were coming in. Come on, you little fart. Get out the damn car. There we go. There we go.
Ready doors, closed. Ready shut. Face. Forward.
Yep. There he is. Trump's in a trumped out tux. Melania is dressed to the nines here. Everyone's ready to go, and Trump and the King. They're having some friendly banter, like, yo, you like how what I've been doing to your little proxy Iran? Where's that faggot son that I blew up with the Ayatollah? Is he high with you guys? Yeah, he gave a great speech. Why were you taking all the Ayatollah's money in offshore banks connected to the UK, Mr. King of England? You want to talk about that, huh? How's the whole world order going, Mr. King of England? Fuck you, Trump. Fuck you. He's like, I know. Fuck me. I'm not the one getting fucked. You the one getting fucked. Melania's like, Donald, be nice, Donald. The old hag on the left, she can't hear shit. She's gone. More pictures. More pictures. Some more shit talking. All right, bitch, let's go have some dinner. That was basically, guys, how that all went down. And it's great. It's great. And I'm so glad Trump did this, because we want to show the King of England. We don't want to just have a regular dinner. We don't just want to have we just don't want to have regular a regular proceeding here. This is very important, guys. We want to remind the king of what he lost. And Trump wanted to make sure that he knew exactly what he lost. Let's dress up the soldiers in American Revolution attire and a big ass monument of when we won the American Revolution. You don't get much more better than this, guys. Let's remind the king. So, and this is the thing, guys, and you know this, Trump loves America. And like, I don't know if you guys have ever gone to, what's it called? I'm trying to, what are they called? Reenactments. Have you guys ever gone to They've done, I've never been to like a World War II reenactment. I have been to an American Revolution reenactments multiple times. And honestly, guys, like growing up, history was always my favorite thing to study. And wars, particular, was my favorite, absolutely favorite thing to study, to read up on, to learn about. And I would go to these reenactments when I was a kid. And it was so cool to watch, like, how these guys used to line up like fucking idiots in red coats and just go to, it was like a gentleman's war, but it was absolutely gruesome. They had these cannons that would just fucking rip your legs apart, rip you in half, tear off your head. You had the bayonets, like you had these terrible rifles that were just absolutely awful. You had the drummer boys and these flutists like out in the front just getting slaughtered. Like, it was crazy, and eventually, like, Americans figured it out, like, yo, why are we doing this? What are these retards doing? Why don't we just guerrilla warfare these people out, like, and ambush them at every single turn and kill them little by little? That seems to work a lot better. And watching, like, the stories and the historians talk about, like, what these guys went through and what they did in the winters, and disease was way worse than anything in any kind of these older wars. It from diarrhea to the flu to the cold. So much shit could kill you. And some of these insane motherfuckers survived this and lived after and won our country for us. Like, and this is like, and Trump understands this. He's the damn president, right? He equated himself almost in a way to the greats, to Abe Lincoln, right? When he's talking about assassination attempts, like, he understands where he is at in history, in our very short history. Trump loves this shit, and he wanted to show the king, hey, just in case you forgot, this is our revolutionary soldiers, and this is what they wore. It's hilarious. Remind him, Trump, and he's gonna do it with a smile on his face. Like, remember this, George? And the funny thing is, like, like, because again, this is all like, there's family lineage here, right, with England. They're way older than we are here in the Americas, but, this was not a good time for England. They got embarrassed. They got fucking embarrassed on a world scale by a bunch of revolutionaries that were wicked smart, that were they were super based religiously, super based in every kind of form you could think of. They were not perfect men, but they figured it out, and they knew exactly what they were doing. And like I said before, like, when this all started, like, when they first got there, I had 2 days before this, I'd seen a video of Melania doing a White House, like, these great White House videos of these beehives, and they're basically like making White House honey. And it's the fucking coolest thing. I love this stuff. If you guys have never, I don't know, again, like, most people that I know have never done beekeeping. I get it. It's not something that a lot of people decide to do. I did it for 3 months, but I can tell you guys, the 3 months I took care of honeybees, it was incredible. And there's nothing better than honey off the comb straight out of their hive. There's nothing better than it. It tastes absolutely amazing. And it's pure. It didn't go through any kind of machine, nothing. And I was like, I'm like, that's really curious. Why of all things, is this just for a garden? Is this for pollination? Why would they do bees? And right as soon as they got there, they went to go look at bees. And and the funny thing is, it's like, you can't script this shit, right? You can't psyop a bee to land on Trump's hand, right? And you see it right here. And this is the funny thing. A honeybee landed right on Trump's hand. And I don't know if for anyone that's never handled bees before, honeybees generally, guys, it's almost like humans and horses, or humans and animals, essentially, with like your spiritual vibes, in my opinion. They can sense your energy. And I know this firsthand, because the first time I took care of the bees, they started to swarm like crazy. It took them a couple of days to realize, oh, this dude is here with sugar water. He's not a threat. And after a few days, they actually calmed down, and they were super chill. They weren't trying to sting me, any of that. And they do chill out. Once they realize you're not a threat, and you're actually helping them, feeding them, you're taking care of it, they understand what you're doing. Because the moment that you fuck one of them up, if you're out there with bad intentions, they send out their pheromones and they go buck wild. But a honeybee lands right on Trump's hand. Didn't sting him. And the old-time honeybee, the honeykeeper, the beekeepers, they don't even wear suits. They don't wear gloves. They literally will handle the bees with their bare hands. And they rarely get stung. And there's a reason for that. They can sense your energy and what you're doing there. And a bee lands on his hand. And I saw this. Queen Elizabeth II's bees informed of her death as part of a long-standing beekeeping tradition. So this is one of the connections that I saw that I thought was pretty interesting. And then this guy, Newsblatt17, posted this, and I thought this was really interesting. The bees were told today, and it wasn't just a photo op. During King Charles III's White House visit, President Trump walked the royal couple straight to the newly expanded beehives on the South Lawn. Melania had just unveiled a hive shaped like the White House itself. Then a live bee landed calmly on Trump's open palm while the king and queen watched in surprise. This wasn't random. In ancient British and Scottish tradition, especially among royal and rural families, you must formally tell the bees of any major change in the household. A death, a marriage, a new master of the house. Fail to do so and the hive may abandon you. When Queen Elizabeth II passed in 2022, the royal beekeeper performed the ritual at Buckingham Palace and Clarence House, quote, "The queen is dead, long live the king." Today, Trump, a distant Scottish Stuart cousin of the royals, which is actually true, I didn't realize that till yesterday, publicly showed the thriving American hives to the king. In the esoteric reading, this was a modern, quote, telling of the bees for the post-Elizabeth era, a symbolic handover and alignment of the two hives, the nations and societies themselves, under new stewardship. This was a very public demonstration, Trump standing tall as the one in charge, and the king quietly capitulating on American soil. The bees in the world just witness who holds the hive now. And this is what I'm saying, guys. We have been just completely breaking off from the aids of the influencers, of the podcast bros, the blame the Jews for everything. We have been going knee deep into what's actually going on a global political scale here, and tying it to real world events, not conspiracy theories, not bullshit red yarn connections and drops and just retardation. When I saw that explanation, it tracks. That is actually true. They actually do this. And what have we been talking now for months, guys, about Trump and the UK and Starmer and now the king here, of these proxies that the UK has been landing here and running to destroy America for decades. And Trump is upending it. And people are upset about the gas prices. People are upset about all this type of stuff. And at the end of all this, I've been telling people, Trump knows what he's doing. There's got to be some pain to realign the world powers here. And it's not Israel. It has nothing to fucking do with Israel whatsoever. It never did. It never did. Israel has their own monsters. Israel has their own history. Obviously, they are part of the story, but they are not the main story. And this is where they went first. And you don't think Trump's smart enough? You think Trump did this randomly? Fam, this was, in a way, Trump letting them know in a symbolic fashion, the old guard is over. We are now in charge here. And he did it on the fucking 250th anniversary of our country, guys. I really want that to sink in for people. Fam, I didn't want to rush in. I didn't want to just throw this into the show last night. When I saw this, this was much more significant than I thought here. I was like, damn, I need to make sure I save this for tomorrow so people know and understand what happened yesterday. Very symbolic. You don't need fucking drops. You don't need conspiracy theories. This is actually rooted in tradition. Let me fix my camera, guys. 1 second. Something happened. It looks like it came back at some point. Well, that doesn't usually happen. Okay. Cool. It's better than my internet dropping out. So, this is what went down yesterday. And I thought it was hilarious that, you know, when you look a little bit closer, guys, when Trump looked at the bee, it was a cute little bee. He looked just like this. Well, just like that. This dude is guys, these memes are everywhere. I cannot escape them. Even Fat JD Vanceby, please just give me more. And being a true G that he is, because of course, guys, I mean, this is the thing, guys. I'm talking to all my guys out there. You got your wife, you got your girlfriend. It doesn't matter, and I always usually do this. You're just walking by, you see your wife, you see your girlfriend, and you guys, and don't lie. You just gotta right? You just gotta do a little slap, gotta do a little squeeze. You gotta do it. I can't help myself. I do that. I do it all the time. And I'm bringing this up for a reason because when Trump was walking, he got himself a handful of Melania. Let's go. Let's go, my dude. I don't hate it. He didn't even slap it. He held that in his hand. He's like, oh, yes. Oh, yes. I mean, guys, who wouldn't? You know what I mean? My goodness. Even at that old age, guys, it's just ingrained in us. You gotta touch it. It don't matter. You gotta do it. You just gotta do it. No matter if it's behind the scenes, out in public, as long as you're not gross. You just gotta get a handful, guys. It's just the way. Yes, hey, you gotta get some. You gotta do it. If you're not doing it, I'm gonna question your sexuality, because if you're not doing it, I don't know if you're really into women. So, as we were doing, as this whole thing was going on, Trump wanted to again make sure the jokes continue. The trolling continues. Smiles for the cameras everywhere. And Trump wanted to talk about how his mom had a crush on the king. It's fucking ridiculous.
And anytime the Queen was involved in a ceremony or anything, my mother, I just see it so clearly. She loved, I told the king this, she loved the royal family, and she loved the Queen. And anytime the Queen was involved in a ceremony or anything, my mother would be glued to the television and she'd say, look, Donald, look how beautiful that is. She really did love the family. But I also remember her saying very clearly, Charles, look, young Charles, he's so cute. It's my mother. My mother had a crush on Charles. Can you believe it? Amazing how, I wonder what she's thinking right now.
This is what Trump decides to be talking about while the king is here, guys. And again, this is all fun and games, but there's always a reason. This is just Trump doing his thing. And when we're talking about the lineage of Trump here, I think this was out of the Daily Mail. It says revealed how the Mail traced Trump's family tree and found out he's actually the king's cousin. And technically, Donald Trump is the 15th cousin of the king. How crazy is that, right? How crazy is that? Trump says, wow, that's nice. I've always wanted to live in Buckingham Palace. I'll talk to the king and queen about this in a few minutes. President Donald Trump. And this is why, you see, with the B, the old guard dying, passing to the new guard. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. And then you have King Edward here giving Trump a gift, a bell, with Trump's name on it at the dinner.
Speaking of submarine alliances, there was one particular AUKUS predecessor launched from a UK shipyard in 1944 that served for the majority of her life attached to the 4th Submarine Squadron in Australia, playing a critical role during the war in the Pacific. Her name? HMS Trump. So tonight, Mr. President, I am delighted to present to you, as a personal gift, the original bell which hung on the conning tower of your valiant namesake. may it stand as a testimony to our nation's shared history and shining future. And should you ever need to get hold of us, or just give us a ring.
Hold on.
Uh-oh, retard alert. Retard alert, class.
Yeah, gee, thanks for the bell. The fuck you gonna do with a bell? Gonna go in the library? It's just retarded. And Trump being Trump, of course, wanted to let everyone know that, wow, his speech was so damn good, he even got the Democrats to stand up. I can't even do that.
This is a great honor, and we welcome Their Majesties King Charles III and Queen Camilla of the United Kingdom to the White House. Very special place, very, very special. And I also want to, before we really begin, I want to congratulate Charles on having made a fantastic speech today at Congress. He got the Democrats to stand. I've never been able to do that. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
What you guys said it right. What King Charles should have brought was the damn crown. Can you imagine? This is like if King Charles was based, I think, like if he really wanted to troll the world, this is what he would have brought Trump as far as the attire. Exactly this. That's what it should have been. Bring the crown. That's what it always should have been. Oh, man. Two kings. Two kings. And the White House guys, I mean, I'm telling you, it's subtle, but it's not. And we understand this because we have watched Trump for years now, and we understand how he operates, and more so than anything is the messaging that he gets out. And this is why I love being diehard OG MAGA, because we understand this, and it's so damn funny. With very subtle little knife jabs that you know is sending these demons over the cliff. When you see the White House account just post something like this that says two kings with the crown, and it's Trump and King Edward here, literally just laughing it up, yupping it up. And you know Trump's having a good time. Everyone that's talked about Trump saying behind the scenes when you're hanging out with him in real life, he's just a regular dude. He's absolutely hilarious, and this is just how it is. And one day, I really hope I get to meet him. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but if he's ever going to do rallies again, maybe he will. I have to see the man I have never seen Donald Trump in person in my life, which is kind of sad. And I had many opportunities to do it. I just didn't do it. I didn't do it. But what's interesting, guys, and where I want to cap this off here before we dive into everything that happened with Comey and everything else going on here in the homeland, Iran, all the crazy shit that's been going on with the Supreme Court that we need to discuss. I want to get into the white pill queens here, talking about Britain's last play, about everything that went down here, and all the historic parallels drawn between President William McKinley and the leader of the American system who was assassinated in 1901, exactly the kind of economic nationalist policies with tariffs compared to Trump today, and how this all ties to England, and exactly why I was saying before, all this going on with the B. It's all great symbology, and it all makes perfect sense. Thank you to Zero to all the Shades of SKG with a K, and the gift of the bell from the Trump vessel was interesting. Very interesting. Dragonfly with a cookie says, we need bees. That type of bee will only sting in desperation because they will die after. Wasps are assholes and will re-sting you over and over because they can. Bees get a bad rap because of those wasps. Bees' frequencies can heal, which makes honey special. No, honeybees are a very special, very, very special. And I always got a soft spot for them. Even when I see them, because I know exactly what they look like. They're very easily distinguished. They're almost like furry. They're almost like fuzzy. And you're right. The moment they sting, their stinger pops out usually, and they die instantly. They only do it if they know it's absolute desperation. That's why, like, when you get to know them and you're around them, they just want to do their thing and make honey and take care of their queen. That's literally all they do. And they are vital for the world. There's no doubt. Thigh Cray with a double. Cookie, the floor is yours. Says, weren't the Democrats bitching and complaining about no more kings and an actual king comes to the United States and they stand up and clap for him? The king, the actual queen. Yes, dude. The hypocrisy is off the chain as it is per usual. And Maggie May dropping a fleet on the show, pushing us up to 9,000 goal pills. Almost halfway to her 20K goal. Thank you, Maggie May. Crushing as always. You guys rock. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button, share, comment, hanging out in the chats as per usual over on YouTube. Thank you guys for being here as per usual. Let's get to the White Pill Queens as they discuss everything that happened with the king here and the new guard. Let's dive into it, shall we? Here we go.
Saturday night, Donald Trump was the target of a third assassination attempt, and it happened at the very same Washington Hilton where Ronald Reagan was shot 45 years ago. Here's what the president said.
You know, I've studied assassinations, and I must tell you, the most impactful people, the people that do the most, you take a look at the people, Abraham Lincoln, I mean, you go through the people that have gone through this where they got them. But the people that do the most, the people that make the biggest impact, they're the ones that they go after. They don't go after the ones that don't do much because they like it that way. And when you look at the people that have either, whether it was an attempt or a successful attempt, they're very impactful people. Just take a look at the names here, the big names.
He's right, and he knows exactly what he's talking about. And the timing of what's happening this week tells you everything. Today, King Charles arrives in Washington, just as a conveniently timed book is published called The Queen and Her Presidents, The Hidden Hand That Shaped History. Well, that hidden hand is not happy with Donald Trump, as a new House of Lords report released at Chatham House last week makes very clear. So we have a thwarted assassination attempt, a royal visit, and a Chatham House forum. These are not separate events, although the media will treat them that way. But if you understand how Donald Trump and his administration are dismantling the strategic and economic levers of the British Empire, then you will understand just how connected they are and just how dangerous the current moment is. I'm Susan Kokinda. I'm no stranger to assassinations or assassination attempts. In 1968, I was with RFK Sr.'s campaign when he was shot. And I was in the press pool in 1981 at GW Hospital, waiting to find out the fate of Ronald Reagan, who had just been shot at that same Washington Hilton. There is a hidden hand behind this, and if you want to understand what it is, hit those like, share, and subscribe buttons. So here's what I'm going to cover today. First, the importance of President Trump identifying the reason behind political assassinations. Second, how a new book spills the beans on the power and influence of the monarchy just in time for King Charles' visit. And third, the new House of Lords report, which admits that the empire is toast without a cooperating United States, which Donald Trump's America is not. So, Saturday night at the Washington Hilton, a 31-year-old man from California, Cole Thomas Allen, charged the Secret Service checkpoint carrying a shotgun, a handgun, and multiple knives. So you have Butler, Pennsylvania, Palm Beach, Florida, and the Washington Hilton. 3 attempts in under 2 years. How Saturday's attack happened brings up serious and manifold security questions, which Barbara Boyd is diving into and will have more to say on soon. But I'm going to address the why. President Trump said it, but to really understand it, you have to go back 125 years. Because the last president who genuinely threatened the British imperial system was William McKinley. Donald Trump refers to him often because of his terror policies, which the president has revived. And McKinley made the United States the industrial wonder of the world, as Donald Trump is doing. And McKinley understood the importance of the Western Hemisphere, as Trump does. McKinley was assassinated at a Pan-American exposition. McKinley had continued the American system tradition of Abraham Lincoln, and both of those presidents represented everything the British Empire and the City of London feared. McKinley was assassinated in 1901, But he was not the only leader during that period who was assassinated. In 1894, the president of France was stabbed. In 1897, the Spanish prime minister was shot. In 1898, the Empress of Austria was stabbed. 1900, the King of Italy shot. And then in 1901, McKinley shot. They were all killed by anarchists. Now, Great Britain was notorious for safe housing anarchist movements and the assassins they spawned. Which Promethean Actions ebook, it's the British who murder our president's documents. The link is in the description. Now go back to Saturday's attempt. Whatever else emerges, it's clear that Cole operated in a constructed climate of hatred for the man he targeted, just as those anarchists operated over a century ago. And it's no small irony that many of the guests in attendance at the White House Correspondents' Dinner represented the very press who helped construct that climate. You see it in the newspaper and the social media headlines. Trump is an authoritarian, or he's a pedophile. Now, you also have a more diplomatic version, like members of the House of Lords who warn that Trump has, quote, turbocharged the disruption of the international order. But whatever the temperature scale of the rhetoric, it all comes from the same starting point. What Donald Trump is doing is threatening their system. In 125 years, no president has come this close to dismantling the imperial architecture. President Trump has thrown free trade out the window. He's threatening the power and independence of the Federal Reserve. He is closing off the strategic choke points like the Strait of Hormuz. He's replacing London's shipping insurance racket. He's sanctioning their offshore dirty money operations, and he's pulling the plug on NATO. That's what's behind President Trump's statement after the attack on Saturday.
You take a look at what's happened to some of our greatest presidents, and it doesn't happen to people that don't do anything, and it's not going to deter me.
That's a president who knows he's making history, and so do we. Promethean Action will keep you on the stage of history as this battle between the American system
but nothing's happening, Scott,
and the British system unfolds. So if you want to be equipped with the strategy you need to be part of this fight, subscribe to our free newsletter. Because the enemy understands it too, which is why King Charles is in Washington. The empire knows what's at stake. Here's what Reuters is counting on. King Charles on U.S. mission to bolster UK's special relationship with royalist Trump. They're counting on the continuation of the soft power relationship that the monarchy has cultivated with presidents for 70 years. Like the one Susan Page, the author of the just published book, The Queen and Her Presidents, The Hidden Hand That Shaped History, describes. She says, on her first trip to the United States as a sovereign, Queen Elizabeth II so charmed President Dwight Eisenhower that she managed to mend a breach between their two countries over the 1956 Suez Crisis. Now, Suez was the last time a U.S. president seriously and openly challenged the empire. When France and Britain moved to seize the canal in 1956, Eisenhower told them to stop, and he threatened to crash the British pound. They stopped. And it was the moment Britain discovered it no longer had independent power, and it had to rely on manipulating the United States instead. From then on, it relied on soft power to direct the United States. And Page's new book makes clear that it was Queen Elizabeth herself who wielded that power. Here's Page's description in a recent interview.
So almost every day she would get briefing papers. Every week she would get top secret intelligence documents. And so over the period of decades, she was as informed about intelligence issues around the world as any other person, for over a longer period of time than any leader.
Not Israel.
And even over issues, say, contingency plans for a nuclear war.
This is not a figurehead. Wow. Queen Elizabeth got top secret intelligence briefings every day for 70 years. She was in on the nuclear war contingency plans, and you can bet she had the full take on the Five Eyes intelligence operation. And she used it. Page describes how the personal relationship between Elizabeth and Ronald Reagan contributed to Reagan's decision to support Great Britain in the Malvinas Islands crisis with Argentina, despite opposition from some of his advisors. Elizabeth was heeding Winston Churchill's advice, quote, stay close to the Americans, unquote. And it worked until Donald Trump came to town. And again, in that PBS interview, Page spills the beans.
You report that a senior British official described the Queen wearing the Obama brooch on the day of President Trump's arrival as a silent act of resistance. That is a striking claim for a monarch who was really studied in neutrality.
A rare example of that. But this was a brooch that Michelle Obama had given her. She had worn it only once, and that was for the reciprocal dinner with the Obamas. For 7 years, she had not been seen in public. Then on the day that President Trump arrives in England, she is in a formal meeting with some religious leaders, and she's wearing it. And I think those close to her told me there was no other way to interpret that, but to interpret it as a statement of resistance to Trump and a statement of support for President Obama, with whom she was actually quite close.
The next day, during that visit to London, President Trump broke royal etiquette and walked ahead of the Queen. This is the backstory that you have to remember while you watch the pomp and circumstance over the next several days. Because soft power and ceremony is not going to undo the hard power which Donald Trump has taken to the British-created post-war liberal order. And the House of Lords just admitted it. Last week, Chatham House premiered a new report published by the British House of Lords International Relations and Defense Committee entitled Adjusting to New Realities, Rebalancing the UK-US Partnership. Now, that committee is chaired by Lord Robertson, who was the former NATO General Secretary, and it includes Lord Kim Durack, whose relationship to Donald Trump tells you everything. Then Sir Kim Durack was Britain's ambassador to Washington in Trump's first term until 2019, when his cables calling the Trump administration inept and insecure were leaked. Those cables also boasted of the networks he cultivated in Washington as he flooded the zone with anti-Trump policies. Trump demanded his removal, and he resigned. 4 months later, the British establishment made him a lord. Now he's on the committee figuring out how to manage relations with the Trump-led United States. Crazy. And at the Chatham House panel releasing the House of Lords report, Durack made clear what was at stake. First, he described how Britain depends on the post-war order.
There is, as Lord Robertson said in his introduction, a U.S. retreat from what is commonly called the rules-based international order, which broadly defined is the system of institutions and rules set up after the Second World War to manage relations between states, to promote prosperity, and to prevent conflict. And as a medium-sized power with an open economy and a history of supporting free trade, we in the UK have found that system has suited us well. But it looks to us that increasingly Americans are taking a different view.
Suited us quite well. That's an understatement. And in the House of Lords report itself, Lord MacDonald made clear that that system, which suits the British quite well, doesn't work without the United States. He said, there is no credible law without effective enforcement. And on the international stage, there is no effective enforcement without the United States. Then, back to Lord Durack, he delivered the indictment that it is Donald Trump's United States which has abandoned this post-war architecture.
There's also, one could argue, and Lord Robertson again mentioned this in his introduction, a quite clear disdain for disregard for international law, as demonstrated recently by the military actions in Venezuela and Iran. And in some ways, American foreign policy seems to be moving back to an older tradition that is more nationalist.
That older, more nationalistic tradition was last fully exercised when William McKinley was president. The fear that this is going to become permanent runs through every page of the report. If Trump has 2 more years to consolidate, the change may be irreversible. They are racing the clock, and they know it. So while you're watching the pomp and circumstance this week, remember this. The monarchy was never a figurehead. It was a fully intelligence-briefed operation tasked with protecting the post-war order. The hidden hand isn't really hidden anymore. Donald Trump is dismantling that order, and no amount of soft power or ceremony is going to change that. And as the president said after the assassination attempt, it's the ones who are most impactful and who change history that they go after. Promethean Action understands that, and we...
So, guys, that was probably one of the best breakdowns that we've had from Promethean. I mean, their content is always on fire, but that is the symbolism. I remember when Trump walked ahead of the Queen in his first admin, but I had no idea about the brooch, and that being Michelle Obama's brooch that she never wore for 7 years and decided to wear that when Donald Trump arrived. I mean, guys, this is the thing, like, these world leaders that play these high-stake games at the highest level, they send these messages. They are, it's all their little power moves, and Trump understands this better than anybody. And this is why, like, I want to start out, guys, with all the pomp and circumstance here of all the, that's why I showed the bees, the American Revolution attire of the soldiers wearing all that, offering that in front of the king. This is all part of the game. And all the smiles, the laughs about the speeches, the bell, it's all horseshit. It's all horseshit. And Trump knows that. These guys understand that. And we understand that because we pay attention to this stuff. And, you know, the fact that Queen Elizabeth was getting super classified briefings, intelligence briefings, every single day, the entire time that she was in power tells you everything. And again, this is why, like, we broke away from the mold of the Israel shit, guys. It was so clear and so easy. And it's just like, that's like their own little cesspool of like retards. Like, leave the retards to scream about Israel all day long over there, while we actually watch history, enjoy what's happening, and seeing the true power moves being made here. It's not going anywhere. It's incredible. And this is why another 2 years of this could cripple it permanently. And things will forever be different. And most Americans won't see it now. They'll see it years later. But we see it now, guys. And when it comes to complete fruition, we're going to look back and say, man, what happened? Donald Trump happened. Fucking awesome. All right, guys. Let's move off the UK stuff. We need to get into what happened with James Comey here, because he had to surrender himself today. He's been arrested. We're going to hear from Bongino talking about what's coming as far as insider information here with what happened with Russiagate and some other crazy stuff as well. We'll be hearing from Erica Kirk, describe what happened at the assassination attempt number 3, and getting into Iran a little bit. And then the Supreme Court decision that has the Democrats absolutely freaking the fuck out right now. All this and so much more. It's going to be on Pill.net, exclusive as we always do, guys. If you just sign up on Pill, it's super easy. The links are in the chat. You don't ever have to have interruptions. There's no ads. There's no nothing. Come join us over on Pill. That takes like 20, 30 seconds to sign up. It drops you right in my chat. Fuck all these other platforms. They all ban me. Rumble sucks ass. It's all fake over there. Join us on Pill. It's our homegrown platform. We'll see you guys over there. Goodbye, my friends.